consider snack sandwich. Today I take a quick look at JPEG'd here. This has been out for quite some time, so I'm kind of behind the curve on this one. But I decided to take a look at it, and as usual, I would suggest you come read the docs. The docs is really good. It's not convoluted. Like, there's not a lot of text to read. It's pretty straight to the point and easy in that sense, but there is a lot going on here. As you can see, there's quite a few tabs, quite a few options in here. Some of them are deprecated or old options that used to be available and are no longer available, but this is pretty interesting. And basically it's a CDP, or you can think of it like make or die for NFTs. So you put your NFTs in as collateral, and you can mint out a stable coin or an ETH coin. So they have PETH and PUSD, and they all have different interest rates and different LTVs and stuff like that. And there's a whole bunch of boosts and stuff going on. So I have a flowchart for you that I'll go through and kind of explain everything. So let's go over to the flowchart. But before I do that, keep in mind that this. You should dig deeper on this. It's a complicated project, and there is the possibility of liquidations and stuff like that. But there's some really good ideas in here. So let's go over to the flowchart, and I'll explain them to you there. If you would like to support the channel, I would suggest you to check out the secretsandwich.xyz. It's the Secret Sandwich NFT project. You can come here, you can mint an NFT, or you can come and check out your NFTs. Okay, so let's get back to it. Okay, so here we are on the flowchart. We've got Dollar Bill and we've got Boosted Bill. They're both NFT holders, and they want to take part in this JPEG'd protocol. They want to get some money. They want to leverage up their NFTs, or they want to put some of that value to use elsewhere. And but they don't want to sell their NFTs. Okay, so let's go through how this thing works. Okay, so we're going to start here with Dollar Bill. Dollar Bill wants some stable coin. He wants some US dollars, so he puts his NFT into, he builds a vault, he deposits his NFT into JPEG, and he borrows out PUSD. Now, the loan to value is a maximum of 35%. So when let's say his NFT, his Secret Sandwich NFT here is worth $1,000. He can borrow at most $350, but that's at the liquidation point. So maybe he borrows $300. Maybe he's a little bit degen, but he's confident in the price value of this NFT or whatever. So this is a question you have to make, like how degen you want to go, how much of that LTV you want to borrow against. And then because he's borrowing the PUSD, he has about a 2% interest. That's all I could find anywhere, was a 2% interest on the PUSD stablecoin. Okay. Then he'll take his stablecoin to Curve, sell it for USDC, and use the USDC to do whatever he wants, or he can farm the Curve pool or what have you. It's up to him. Whatever he wants that value for, he will go and take it to do it. Now let's talk about liquidations. I usually leave liquidations to last, but I think it's a good time to explain it here when this stuff is fresh here. So you have to keep in mind that his interest is growing his debt, right? So the way the liquidations work on JPEG are different than a lot of other protocols. It's not a permissionless liquidation process. Like, there's no Ninja Nick can't come in and liquidate these NFTs. The protocol itself will take his NFT and put it up for auction, starting at his debt price and then ascending upwards, so for 24 hours. So they will put it up for auction, and anyone who uses JPEG can come and be like, oh, I want to buy one of these whatever, these sandwich NFTs for discount, they'll bid on it, right? I've spelled ascending wrong, but anyhow, so they'll bid on it as for 24 hours, and the highest bid basically will pay off the debt, as well as get that NFT. And if it's even more than the debt, then the protocol will gain the treasury will gain that amount for something I don't know. I couldn't find anywhere in the documentation if more is paid than the debt itself. Okay, so now one of the key features that JPEG has that other protocols don't have is like a built-in insurance mechanism. So a Boosted Bill here can take on a protection or insurance on his position, and what it will do is it'll cause the JPEG to wait 72 hours before they put it up for auction, And what will happen is dollar bill, when his positions like flagged for liquidation, he will have to come back, repay his debt plus 5% of a liquidation fee, and then he'll be able to reclaim his lost his NFT that's put up for liquidation auction. Now this insurance does have a cost, and it comes out of the borrow. So when he borrows 300 PUSD, then his PUSD that is minted to him is reduced by 2.5%. So he will only get 292.5 PUSD, but his debt will be 300 still. Okay, so that's kind of how the insurance works, is they just mint you less money, but you still owe the same amount of money. So this is really good, this insurance idea. Now let's move over to Boosted Bill. Boosted Bill's a little bit more degenerate, but he also knows NFTs better than dollar bills, so he knows how to play this game a little bit better. So like he's going to use his NFT and he's going to mint it versus PETH. So he's going to take PETH instead of PUSD. So now the pricing of this NFT is in ETH. Okay, so it doesn't, like if the price of ETH fluctuates, he won't get liquidated because of the price of ETH fluctuating, right? So let's say his NFT is worth 100 ETH. Okay, this Secret Sandwich NFTs. The floor price of these Secret Sandwich NFTs are 100 ETH. Like, I'm dreaming, but anyhow, let's say for this case. So again, it's got an LTV of 35%, so he can borrow at most 35 ETH versus this NFT. But when he borrows PETH, it has a higher interest rate of about 5 to 10%. And now this changes, I would assume, based on the collections, the different collections. Some collections might be 5%, some collections might be 10%, and 6%, and I guess the DAO would decide what is the interest rate for this particular collection. Now, Boosted Bill is boosted, so he wants to boost his position. He wants to get more juice out of it. So one of the things he can do is he can pick up one of these NFT, they're called JPEG'd NFT cards. And if he has one of those, then he can use it to boost this particular position. It'll flag it with like a cigarette, and it can give him up to 10% boost on his LTV. So maybe he could borrow up to 45 ETH now, okay? Now the next way he can boost his position is he can get some JPEG tokens, JPEG tokens, dollar JPEG tokens from SushiSwap, and he can lock them. Now he can lock them, the time he locks them is based on basically how long he thinks he wants to hold this position open for. If he's going to hold it for 2 weeks, then maybe he wants to lock it for 2 weeks and a couple days or something, right? It depends on how long he wants this boost, because when this boost expires, he might get liquidated if he's borrowed too much. So this boost can boost his LTV up to like 5 to 15%, right? The value of the tokens he needs to lock is based on 20% of the boost value. So like if he's boosting his NFTs by, say, like he's going to get an extra 10 ETH out of it, then he has to lock 20% of 10 ETH worth of these JPEG tokens. So the JPEG tokens are priced in ETH, so he can, basically check the price of, get 20%. So he's got to lock 20% of the value of these JPEG tokens that he wants to borrow, okay? Moving on. The other way he can get some boost is based on the governance of the DAO. The DAO can see this NFT as valuable and say, oh, some of these traits are more valuable than others, so they want to add some value based on the more rare traits. So for example, maybe rye bread or bacon or mozzarella might make your NFT worth more than other NFTs. So the DAO can decide what to do it. Now, obviously, this sandwich NFT is not there, and the only NFTs that have like value, like rare traits, the rare traits are very particular. So like a zombie CryptoPunk will be worth a lot more than a normal CryptoPunk. Okay, so how does it work? It basically boosts the value of the floor price of your NFT. So it can be between 1.1 to all the way up to 10x. So the zombie CryptoPunk is a 10x value in ETH. So that basically increases the amount that you can borrow of this NFT versus the floor price. Now the floor price going up and down on the values can still cause you to get liquidated. Now this feature also costs JPEG tokens, so you have to lock 15% of the value of the boost that you're getting in that. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to talk about is there are some other features inside here. There are some use cases for some of these tokens. If you have a position open with a backwards again. Bored Ape Yacht Club or Mutant Ape Yacht Club. If you have a position opened with those tokens, then you can stake your position and earn ape tokens. Okay, so it's just a way to farm ape with a position that's open in these tokens or in those NFTs. If you do somehow like open a position with PETH, then you can stick PETH into Curve, get the Curve and auto compound it in the Curve convex system, and then you can also earn JPEG if you stake that. So there's a few steps in here. You just go to the PETH. It's pretty straightforward, you know. Put your ETH in, get the LP. The LP goes to convex. The convex is, you know, all sold for more PETH, ETH, and then, you know, you stake it and you get some JPEG. Now they did talk about this kind of having a whale mode where you could get this all done in one long, big transaction. Okay. And then also PUSD farming. If you board some PUSD, you can do the same thing as with that, except for there's no JPEG rewards right now, but there was in the past, so they might come back in the future. So that pretty much covers what's going on here. I tried to make it quick and easy so you can understand. Now, like if you're going to use this protocol, I would suggest you to go around, play with the front end. The front end's a little bit like hard to understand. There's a lot of data, a lot of things to look at. But now that you kind of understand how this thing works, it'll probably be easier for you to figure out what's going on with all of these buttons and so forth. Okay, I hope this has been useful and interesting, and thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.